What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 64. And we start today's stuff with a look at our fixtures for December. Some big games coming here. West Ham, Burnley away at Turf Moor. More on those guys in a moment. Manchester City and Spurs in the space of 4 days. Another London derby at home to Crystal Palace. And also the Foxes. Brendan Rodgers, Leicester away at the King Power, who right now are in second place in the table. Chasing us, the league leaders. And on the back of 3 wins in our last 4 games, on a draw against Watford as well. 10 points from 12. Has seen us open up a 6-point gap at the top of the table. And I said it in the last game, in the last episode after our win against our win against Brentford away at the Community Stadium, and 3 wins in 4. I mentioned it, those 3 wins we only won by a single goal, and other than the QPR game, I didn't play especially well in those games there. We still came through with the wins, and I mentioned before, that's what champions need to do, even when they're not at their best. Still grind out and find ways to win. We've been doing that, and that's why we're 6 points clear. So for the first game, David Moyes' West Ham coming to take us on at Stamford Bridge. I thought, okay, you know, it's good to win regardless of how you do it, but it's even better to win where you've dominated. So taking on West Ham here, I thought it's about time we got a big win in this game here against Moyes' side. And taking them on here for the first game of December, it was the perfect start. Romelu Lukaku got a rare start heading into the game, and he opened the scoring as well. I was so frustrated I couldn't score this wonderful little goal with Dembele off the woodwork, but fair play to Christian Pulisic, keeping the chance alive. I love the awareness, rolling it through to Lukaku in a little bit of space, 7 yards out. He's not going to miss. Second goal of the season for the big Belgian. So yeah, a rare start for Lukaku. First in the Premier League this season, I believe, for our Belgian. But I gave him the opportunity ahead of Tammy Abraham, and it seemed as though he was going to take it, because he scored our first, and then 20 minutes in as Mount rolls through Dembele. Usman gets around his man, plays it through to Lukaku, and for once, the first touch is actually really good. Yep, rolls the ball through, smacks it in, puts his fingers in his ears and says, "What was that, Gaffer? Criticising my first touch?" Well, how about that? Sets himself up really nicely and smacks it in. 2-0 Chelsea. All the pundits criticising my decision to give him a contract extension. Well, bagging a brace, giving us a 2-goal lead here. 20 minutes in, we're off to a great start. But 26 minutes in, West Ham will get back in the game. Trying to pass out from the back. I mentioned before, it can be a risky thing to do, especially against a pressing team. West Ham with the ball back close to our area, and Nikola Vlasic, man, oh man. I mean, seriously. He scored against me every single time I've faced West Ham in this series, I swear. Another goal as he makes it 2-1, deficit half, but despite giving West Ham a route back into the game, I really was dominating in the first half, and it was long overdue as well. I hadn't really had a game, well, I hadn't had a game until the Southampton one, where I'd been really dominating. That was the last time I really dominated a game, and this one was definitely looking like it was going to be like that performance on the South Coast. We got ourselves a third goal to make it 3-1 right before the break, and then just after the hour mark, a chance to make it 4 and get a 3-goal cushion. Pulisic down left, storms through, he sees his bro Lukaku, there he is, and gives it to Big Rom to get his hat-trick. Yep, Chelsea 4, West Ham United 1. I love that as well. Pulisic with 2 assists for Romelu Lukaku, and for the big Belgian as well. Mate, if you could just be a little bit more consistent, I'll give you more game time ahead of Tammy Abraham. 4-1, though, absolutely dominant display in this game for the Belgian as well, getting the hat-trick. That's our second hat-trick of the season already. It's Lukaku with 1 and Hudson-Odoi with 1 as well. So, yep, leading by 4-1 with 5 minutes to go. Oh, that would have been an amazing goal. Meslier prevents it. Dembele. Oh, mate, that was class. I was just showboating. I got to be honest here. The game was done. I was leading by 3, so I was just showboating at this point. I tell you what, man, had I scored from that, that would have been amazing. Lovely skill down the flank to get inside a rainbow flick, but I just couldn't rat the move off. Even so, final score Chelsea 4, West Ham 1. Hat-trick for Lukaku and 1 for Captain America. It was great in that game as well, the goal and 2 assists too. A big victory there as we now make it 4 wins in 5 and no losses in 5 as well. 13 points picked up from 15, and for Chelsea right now, here we go. This is exactly what we need right now. Try and get that separation at the top of the table as we come towards the first half of the season's close. This is what we want to see. So, yep, following that, we agreed a deal to send Branthwaite out on loan to Leicester. We had so many unrealistic bids for Branthwaite, but going to the King Power, I guess I could see that as a 75 rated defender going to the King Power there. And also, we've loaned them Hector Busquets as well, so I kind of like that too. 2 players leaving on loan to the same own club there as well. But for the following game, Burnley away, Turf Moor, and the atmosphere was rocking inside the stadium here in the northwest. And can I just say as well, as we headed into the game here against the Clarets, I think myself and many others as well, let's be honest, I'm not the first person that said it, we might owe Alan Pace a bit of an apology. I mean, when Sean Dyche was sacked, I mean, let's be honest here, the majority of people thought it was the wrong thing to do. Not everyone. Some people thought it was time for a change with Dyche in charge for a decade, but most people felt as though Burnley might have potentially shot themselves in the foot. Well, what a start for Burnley. 2 wins in 3 under caretaker manager Mike Jackson, and they got Watford tomorrow afternoon as well. I tell you what, if they win that, they're now out of the bottom 3 after Everton's loss at Anfield last weekend. If they beat Watford tomorrow, then, well, firstly, the Hornets are definitely down. But, I've got to say, if they win that game tomorrow, then, I tell you what, Everton will be thinking, we are in a whole heap of trouble. So, Burnley, fair play. I mean, seriously, the balls to sack Sean Dyche with a few games to go in the season, and not too many points off safety. That was a big decision which most people, myself included, disagreed with. Well, got to hold my hands up here. I might have been completely blindsided to the fact that Burnley did need a change, because right now they're playing better than they have for, well, the season. I mean, they've got half the wins they had under Sean Dyche in 3 games. Fair play, seriously. Big balls to sack Sean Dyche. Most people, myself included, thought it was the wrong decision. But Burnley right now have now got a golden chance to stay up. Would they have had 2 wins in 3 under Sean Dyche in those fixtures? Maybe, but you never know. But under Mike Jackson, they have. You got to give Burnley chairman Alan Pace some credit. Pulled the trigger. Many people wondered why. Many people, myself included, thought it was the wrong decision. It might well prove to have been a big gamble that might well pay off. Still a long way to go, though. Still a long way to go. So, got to reserve judgment until the final game of the season, and then we'll know for sure whether it's the right call or not. Even so, on the back of the win against Burnley there, Ruben Loftus-Cheek off the bench, came off the bench to score the game winner there. Took a big deflection note. Very, very lucky goal, no doubt about it. You might have missed it initially, hence why I included a replay there. Took a big nick on its way past Jensen. I wondered how it trickled in at first, but you saw the replay. A little deflection, sent the ball past the shot stopper and into the back of the net. We won the game by a single goal to 0, and for the following game, on the back of 4 wins in 5, Manchester City at home. Massive game at Stamford Bridge here in West London. And I started this game off horrendously poorly. Edouard Mendy bailed me out early, but then KDB opened the scoring. Did you see? I think it was Reece James who tripped up as the ball was played inside. Oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. But Man City went in front and got themselves the early goal and almost went 2-0 up as well right before the break. Robert Lewandowski, the vet, now at Manchester City, reuniting with Guardiola. Denied by a good stop by Mendy. But I'll be totally honest here, you know, we got away with it in the game against Burnley. Didn't play especially well. It was nothing like the West Ham game. Yep, didn't play well at all. And taking on Guardiola's side here, I needed a better performance, and a much better performance if I was going to keep the streak going here against Guardiola's team. One of the favourites to win the title every single season. I will be honest here, I just never really felt confident. I never really turned up, despite a nice little unbeaten streak here with no losses in our last 6 games. I really was all over the place. Yeah, 5 wins in our last 6, undefeated in 6. But in this one here, taking on Manchester City, I just felt taken back. And I really was all over the place. And Herculano made it 2-0. Jack Grealish bent in this beauty from just outside the area as the former Aston Villa forward makes it 3. And that was how the game will finish at Stamford Bridge. Yep, for the second time this season, we taste defeat in the league. For the second time this season, it's come at Stamford Bridge. For the second time this season, we've been humbled 3-0. Yep, just like against Liverpool, absolutely dominated. And like I say, all the time, I present the highlights package very fairly. I show you the stats, and I'm always willing to admit when I've been comfortably beaten. In that game there, absolutely dominated. My worst performance as Chelsea manager so far. 3-0 loss to Man City, and no doubt about it, deserved to lose. Got absolutely humbled in that one. Yep, 3-0 at the final score, no doubt about it. Beaten by the far better team. So our undefeated run ends after 6. Big loss there to Manchester City. And so for the following game here, Spurs away in a big London derby. And with Spurs right now under Conte after a tough start this season, I thought, okay, alright, this is where we respond. You know, we responded against Liverpool with that big 4-0 win away on the South Coast against my former team, Southampton. Well, now we've got a London derby against Spurs. You know we play well in London. I always seem to have a good record here in the capital. So taking on Tottenham Hotspur away, I thought, okay, alright, let's right our wrongs in this game. Well, just like against Manchester City, I got off to a terrible start. This game coming on Wednesday night, I had to rest a few players for this one for fitness reasons. Edouard Mendy, though, of course, would still start between the sticks, wearing the armband and leading by example. 2 big saves half an hour in kept us still deadlocked at 0-0, but I'll be honest here, that first goal was coming. Ben Chilwell's first start from injury in this game looked a little bit off the pace, caught out here with Lo Celso stepping down the right, rolls it into the middle, and there's the Canadian Jonathan David to make it 1-0, and Spurs are in front right before the break, and we're trailing in North London. I was thinking, okay, alright, half time, I've got to play better in the second. I was all over the place in the first, I've got to do better in this second, and to be honest here, Spurs at this point should have been 3 or 4-0 up. Sarr misses this chance to make it 2-0, let off it once again, and with 20 minutes to go, really my only chance of the game fell here. Dembele stepping in from the right, couldn't finish it, straight at the goalkeeper. How on earth did I mess that up so badly there? Put it either side and it's 1-1, put it straight at him, still down by a goal. Another late chance, 5 minutes to go, really picked up late on. Callum Hudson-Odoi outpaces Gomez, running through one-on-one. And once again, for the second time, I'll put it straight at Unai Simon. And the Spanish shot stopper makes the save. 2 big saves by the Spaniard, but really, I let him off the hook. I should have smacked it either side instead. Put it straight at him. Still down by a goal. Stoppage time 1-0. Spurs going for the corner. Psych, get themselves inside. Lo Celso gets his second assist of the game as he rolls it through to Harry Kane. And Kane doubles the lead, celebrates with Conte. Spurs 2, Chelsea 0. And a big, big loss away in North London. Yep, this is a little bit worrying for us. Great little mini run of form with, I think again, there's 5 wins in 6, I think it was, but a really nice unbeaten stretch regardless. But we've been knocked out of the EFL Cup. We've now had back-to-back defeats against Manchester City and Spurs as well. Slight concern here for Chelsea, and it's going to happen every single season. I talk about it all the time. You can't have a whole season and play on top of your game and win every single game. It just simply won't happen. Every season you're going to have a mini struggling patch of form, but this is not the time. In December, with so many games coming thick and fast, the last thing we can do is have a tough run of form that gets extended because we'll get caught up quickly. We did have a very big gap at the top of the table by 6 points. Well, now, on the back of back-to-back losses, it's been cut to 3. Both Manchester clubs now only 3 points behind. They've both got a better goal difference swing as well. Chelsea had a big lead so soon ago, but in the Premier League, nothing is given, everything is earned, and right now, both Manchester clubs have earned themselves a right back into this title race. The gap 3, with 2 games to go before the halfway point. Safe to say for Chelsea, the honeymoon period is over, back-to-back losses, and brought back down to reality. There's a long way to go, but that will end today's episode of the Realistic Crewman, guys. Big thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Crewman. It's a January transfer window gets set to open very soon.